Hello children, how are you all doing? I hope you all are fine. Welcome back to my channel Little Stories and Rhymes. So today I am back with a new story. So today's story's name is Cinderella. So Cinderella is a very nice and popular story. I hope you will like today's story. So now let's start. Cinderella. Cinderella was a beautiful girl. Her mother died when she was a very little girl. Cinderella lived with her father, her stepmother, and two stepsisters. Cinderella's sisters did not love her and were very unkind to her. As she grew older, they made her work as a servant. Cinderella was a very sweet, good girl. However, everybody loved her except her cruel sisters. When Cinderella was about 17 years old, the king of the country gave a ball to which all the ladies of the land and among the rest of the young girls and her stepsisters were invited. Her stepsisters did not want Cinderella to come along with them. They told her to stay at home and do her work. When her sisters went to the ball, Cinderella sat sorrowful, thinking of the unkindness of her sisters. A voice called her from the garden, and she went out to see who was there. It was her godmother, a good old fairy. "Do not cry, Cinderella," the fairy said. "You also shall go to the ball." The fairy does some magic and turns Cinderella into a beautiful princess and dressed up her in a very beautiful clothes and jewelry with a pair of glass slippers. "Now go to the ball," the fairy told to Cinderella. "But remember, you must leave the room before the clock strikes 11. If you do not, your dress will return to its original rags," said the fairy. Cinderella thanked her godmother and then she stepped in a coach and drove off. The fairy returned to the fairyland. Cinderella was received at the king's palace with great respect. She was very beautiful that everybody looked at her and wondered who she is, and the prince saw her and asked to dance with him. While dancing in the middle, Cinderella remembered the fairy's command, and at 10:30 she came out of the room and drove home. After coming home, Cinderella's sisters told her about the unknown beautiful princess and how well she was dressed. The prince was shocked at the sudden disappearance of the beautiful princess, and one more time he told the king to give a grand state ball. "I wonder if the beautiful princess will be there at the ball," said the prince. Again the fairy godmother appeared and changed Cinderella into a beautiful princess, and her godmother, pleased with her obedience, and came in a good time. Cinderella dressed in a blue satin and pearls and went to the ball. The prince would scarcely let her out of his sight, and Cinderella, who was getting a little spoiled by all flattery she heard, began to think more of herself and less of the fairy. So the time stole on till, dancing up at the clock, she saw it only 5 minutes to 11. At once she got out of the room and ran through the palace as fast as she could. But as she reached the hall, she lost one of her precious glass slipper and went home. The prince was surprised when he missed Cinderella. He asked everyone, but no one had seen her. However, the prince's search was rewarded by his finding the glass slipper, which he well known belonged to the unknown princess. He loved Cinderella so much that he now resolved to marry her. The prince sent out a proclaim that Whichever lady in his kingdom could put on this glass slipper would be his wife. All the great ladies who wished to be princess tried to put it on, but all in vain. Cinderella's sisters tried but could not get it on. Then Cinderella asked if she might try. They laughed at her, but the prince, hearing of his wish, sent for her. She went with her sisters in her poor dress, but very clean at once put on the slipper. The prince, who had thought the moment he saw her that the poor girl was very much like the beautiful princess, was delighted. He insisted Cinderella telling him her story, which she did very modestly, and all listened with wonder. As her tale ended, the fairy godmother suddenly entered the room and placing Cinderella's hand in the prince's hand. So Cinderella got married to the prince in a great state, and they lived together very happily. She forgave her sisters and treated them always very kindly. And the prince had great cause to be glad that he found the glass slipper girl, Cinderella. So, the moral of the story is kindness is a form of beauty which will eventually be recognized. Good people are always rewarded at the right time. So, children, I hope you have liked today's story, Cinderella. Next time, I'll be back with a new story. Until then, take care. Bye bye. So, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.